Next talented Tennessean you meet is part of what's known as the A-team of Nashville studio musicians. They're the people you don't see but always hear playing behind the big stars on records. Kenny Malone is a drummer who keeps perfect time, and when he finds time, he invents some of his own means of playing.
Yeah, my mom had a picture when I was about 3.5 years old banging around on everything in the house, so I knew when I was 5 that's what I wanted to do.
For 20 years, Kenny Malone has been keeping time in Nashville. He's played drums in all the major studios for some of Music City's biggest hits. But Kenny's fascination with rhythm often goes beyond the studio walls and into his workshop at home in Donaldson. This is where he invents new percussion instruments and experiments with anything that might create a new, interesting sound.
I thump on everything that I come in contact with, you know. I have favorite sounds and least favorite sounds.
Really? You've used some of these on some of your sessions, too, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
What have been some of the most strange things that you've played?
Don Williams, one of his songs, I used Joe Allen's grandfather's spur. He had a...
Spur?
Yeah, it was a regular spur, and I'd play it with a quarter. It was some song about a cowboy riding someplace and something about the jingle of the spurs and things. So I try to create a background, you know, for the song.
Yeah.
Like a painting.
Kenny took a huge conch shell one day, put a drum head on it, and bingo, the result is a creation he calls a conga drum.
You can change the pitch of this drum by putting your hand in the port.
One of his strangest new drums is this one he calls Og. It has 2 heads, 2 sound chambers, and requires hand, knee, and even chin coordination to play it. Now, the instrument that may gain Kenny commercial success is this creation called the shaka. He says the design for it came to him and his partner rather miraculously at the same time.
And the shape flashed into my mind, and it was the shape of the shaka. And so the next morning, we're teaching a class there, one of Sam's classes at Belmont. And I said, Sam, I thought of a new musical instrument last night. He says, don't tell me what it was, draw it on this napkin real fast, because he had a dream and he wanted to see. And we both drew the identical shape on a napkin.
That's strange.
Well,
that's bizarre.
We both started jumping up and down and dancing around. You know, that's the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
And the result was this?
The result was after 3 years, now we got our patent this year.
Okay, so this is the instrument you both dreamed of. How does it work?
You can change the sound by closing off these slots and the size of both of these. There's chambers on the inside, and you can change the pitch this way by opening and closing your fingers.
Kenny has a couple of shaka spin-offs, including this one that sounds like water keeping time. Yeah. And even a version with an adjustable string Kenny calls the shaka talk. Well, you seem to have the best of both worlds. You have a creative job playing drums and a creative passion for making drums.
Right. I love it. I mean, I'm fascinated with sound. The whole world's a drum to me.
Deep in the Australian bush, you'd expect to get away